Welcome to COVID Chats with Coach Doug. For those of you who are logging in, if you have any questions for my guest tonight, please send them as quickly as possible. This girl is an absolute rock star tonight. There's a lot of lives out there today, but you know what? If you guys want some awesome information, you are going to get it. Michelle Holmes is an amazing, amazing junior golf coach. And we'll see what happens. Anyways. There she is. Hi there. You're the only one who's joined in so far. There she is. Oh, you got the dogs with you.
Yeah, I've actually got both of them. So whatever bad behavior they get up to tonight, they don't get that from me. They get it from their father.
Oh, that's too funny. My boy, my guy's just lying on the carpet over here. So, anyways,
Well,
looking forward.
I've got one lying right behind the phone, and I've got this one here. So we'll see how this goes.
What did you do today?
We're doing some online or video lessons, so that's keeping me busy. And
Nice.
doing a lot of stuff around the house, trying to do a bit of working out. That's about it.
Carrie's all over you already. She's like, Michelle, Carrie Moffat from Vancouver.
This is my first ever FaceTime live, so I'm kind of a little weirded out by this.
Oh, really?
It's my first time ever.
Yeah. Wow, that's really hard to believe. I feel very honored that I'm the one who gets you to commit to this. So this is good. So it's gonna be fun. Yes, and that man, where's he at?
Say that again.
Where's that guy of yours, Danny Boy?
I think he's actually on his way to my sister's house. Is she on here? So they might get
not
on.
Yet.
Not yet. You know she'll be on.
Well, we got Justin Blazers on. Brody just got on. We got all the regular characters are coming on, so it should be a lot of fun. And there goes your dog.
Pretty.
Exactly. So.
Go ahead.
No, that's okay. How are you finding it going in this trying time, bud?
It's been okay. I'm just trying not to kill Dan. That's my first priority every day, not to kill him. I'm definitely missing seeing Katie and Jack as much as I normally do. I'm obviously missing all our students. I think it's a very interesting time in the teaching world. I mean, I feel like our students are being forced to learn in ways that they've never learned before. And I feel like I've definitely been forced to teach in ways I've never learned before. So I guess we're all out of our comfort zone a little bit.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things. I was on a Zoom call with Rudy Gonzalez, Paul Castor, and Justin today. And we were talking about how we're adjusting. And it's interesting the difference between, hi Nick, and it's the difference between people who are in the north, who are maybe used to being 6 months off and have like nets and like their indoor space set up in the garage, versus somebody like Justin and Rudy who are mostly outside all the time. And how people aren't ready for this in their areas, right? So they're like, normally they are working face to face, and we talked about the connection and how important it is to you and to me and to us coaches who are so invested in our clients. We're so invested in our kids and our juniors because we care about them. We care about them right here, and it's so important. And how are you finding that struggle to keep that connection? Like, how many are you keeping in contact with? How many are you seeing on a daily basis online?
Well, all of our more, I guess if you want to call them, our more serious golfers, they've all continued with video lessons. There's a lot of group chats going with my girl golfers, and it's funny because they have Dan included in those group chats, so you can just imagine how that goes down. No, I feel like I'm in just as much contact as I ever am, but it's just in a different way.
Oh yeah? I'm doing here. Sorry.
You're
So, well, it's really an interesting point because, like, part of this and why I wanted to have you on. First of all, thank you so very much for coming on, buddy. Little backstory for those of you who may not know who this woman is that's staring at you in the other side of the other side of this Instagram live. This woman right here is an absolute rock star. She is probably one of the best junior golf coaches in the world. And I mean that because she is so invested in everything she does junior golf. She is an expert when it comes to kids. She has a very specific niche in where she's an absolute golden child. And I am so very blessed to have her as a friend and colleague. She does stuff with U.S. kids. She's a U.S. kids master coach, same as myself. She is absolutely, when you think about junior golf, you have to include Michelle Holmes in every conversation. So let me go back to how did this transform? Because you were playing golf in Ireland. You're from Ireland, right?
uh-huh.
That's where the accent comes from, right? For those of you who thought it was maybe something crazy American. The interesting part is, you came to play golf in college, but how did it form into who you are today?
Okay, Doug, you've definitely started with a deep one there. And this is one that's a little hard for me to talk about. So are you ready for this?
Yes.
So I did get to play college golf at Campbell University. I think your question was, did college golf shape who I am today as a coach?
Yeah.
It didn't at all. But my junior golf experience and my junior golf career certainly impacted who I am today 100%. So with that being said, I mean, my biggest mission right now is obviously introducing kids to the game of golf. My biggest mission is really giving kids a good experience. The mission of Michelle Holmes School of Golf is to create experiences that encourage kids to play the game forever. But the other thing I do,
awesome. I love that tagline. That is such a great, company statement.
So yes, but the other thing I do, and I do this a lot, and I try my best with this, and I annoy parents all the time, whether it's the parents of my own kids that I teach or parents of kids around the world, Australia, wherever, I'm always trying to help parents take on a better role in their child's golf journey, because it is a crazy roller coaster of a golf journey. So I feel like I'm always trying my best to help parents become better parent caddies, parent teachers, parent coaches, whatever it is. And my junior golf experience has certainly led to all that. So if you want my junior golf experience,
That's a pretty interesting one. Now, well, this is where Instagram is giving me fits, because it did this to me 3 days in a row. I get about 5 minutes into this thing and it starts being silly. But yes, parents need the coaching. Colin Bykowski out in Vancouver says that 100%. You would agree. I know that because I see you do it all the time. So listen, if you buffer, I don't know if you can hear me now, but if those of you can't hear me, we'll have to reset this. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, that's good. So what I want to know, and I mean, this is the really cool part, is when did it change for you? You played golf at Campbell.
Yeah.
But you met Dan at Campbell. You met Dan, your husband. You met him at Campbell University, right?
Yes. But I think
so how did it come to, like, all of a sudden this brainstorm of, like, I'm pretty good with kids. Like, this is kind of something that I want to do.
Well, I think we've got to rewind to the junior golf days and my junior golf experience. Before I go into my junior golf experience, I gotta say, you've met my father, right? You met my parents, right? At the PGA show.
Right.
Yeah.
My dad's wonderful.
My dad's my best friend in the whole world. He's my absolute hero. He's my biggest fan. But he probably made some mistakes through the junior golf days that have helped shape the coach I am today. Let's put it that way. So with that being said, I feel like when I look back on my junior golf journey, I feel like my story is a story that happens very often, and it's very much an untold story. You know, we hear the stories of the kids who were great junior golfers like Lexi Thompson, and they grew up to play on the LPGA tour, you know.
Right.
But I feel like my story was a little different. I started playing golf when I was 10. I absolutely fell head over heels in love with the game. Okay.
Okay.
I probably by the age of 13, 14, things had changed. Now looking back, I realized things had changed. I think at that point, people were starting to realize that I was a very good golfer and I could have a career in this.
Very cool.
But something changed there at that point. Golf became something that it was no longer something I enjoyed doing. It was something I had to do. Okay. It was something that it was no longer, you know, something I did. It was my whole identity. It was no longer something I did with my dad for fun and happened to do good in the junior golf tournament. It all of a sudden was something that my dad was annoyed when golf wasn't going well. My dad was mad when golf wasn't going well. And, you know, so things drastically changed there over, you know, at 14, 15, 16. And what was happening, Doug, is my dad created a very good junior golfer, right? But somewhere at the age of 15, 16, what was happening, my physical game was top notch, but I was losing the passion for the game.
And why were you losing the passion?
Because it just wasn't fun anymore.
Passion.
It just wasn't fun anymore. He had knocked the fun out of it.
Really, eh?
So the passion, I was losing the passion and the mental strength. And age 18, 19 are scary years when I look back on them, because at 18 I was the #1 junior golfer in Ireland. I was supposed to win all the national titles that year, and guess how many I won?
Zero.
And what was happening, and this is what I see with so many kids, and this is why I'm so passionate about this, what was happening, I was playing in fear. So the way our junior golf tournaments worked is you would play 36-hole stroke play and then you go into match play. And I got to every final that year and I won none of them. And
really?
Why? Because I was so afraid of how disappointed Dad was going to be or how mad he was going to be. Okay.
Wow.
But at that point, I was a great golfer. I got a full ride to Campbell University, so they shipped me off on the next train off to Campbell. And that's where life got really scary. Because think about this. I've arrived in a new country, and I have 4 years of college golf ahead of me.
Right.
Okay? And I've landed in North Carolina, and I realized I don't even want to do this anymore.
No.
There's absolutely nothing left there. Okay. So my college golf career, well, I had some good moments, but I didn't have the career I should have had. Certainly not. So when I played my last round of golf as a college senior, I cried from the first hole to the 18th green. And I was dating
You did not.
I did. I cried the whole way around. I can't remember what I shot, but I cried from the first tee to the 18th green. And I was dating Dan at the time, and we had many a talk, but that's when I kind of realized that, you know, what's deep down in my heart is I want to coach, and I want to give kids a different experience. And again, it's not that I'm dissing parents or dissing my own parents. Every parent out there wants to stay with their child. So did my dad. And I decided, Can
I think that it was kind of like where you had an epiphany to where you kind of went, oh my gosh, you know what? I've experienced so much with this game, yet I'm not happy because internally myself, what can I do so that doesn't happen to to anybody else I'm going to coach?
Exactly. And Doug, you know, we see it all the time. Don't we see it all the time? All the time. I mean, we're at World Championships every year. We see it. And all I ever ask parents is, you know your child better than anyone else, right? Okay. Just take a moment to step back and look at the big picture. Slow and steady often wins the race, right?
Right, 100%.
Take a look in your child's eyes and just listen to them. And they will guide you.
This is it. This is right here. This is people who are watching. This is why this woman is an amazing junior golf coach. The passion coming through this story and why she is driven to help kids have a different experience in golf. This is the difference maker and what you need to find in coaches for your kids. It makes a huge difference when you have somebody who realizes from their own self experience how they can then change the experience for your child.
Yes,
So,
totally.
yeah, well, this is an interesting point because one of the things, like the first time I met you, it's a kind of a funny story. We had actually become friends on Facebook, and we didn't really know each other because we were in U.S. Kids group. And so it was the World Championships 6 years ago. I actually walked up to you at the U.S. Kids dinner and said, "Hi, I'm Doug Laurie. You're Michelle Holmes. We're friends on Facebook." And you're looking at me going, "Who's this bald idiot? Like, what the heck?"
I remember that moment. We've had a lot of fun times since.
Yes, we have. And the really interesting thing was the really cool part is becoming colleagues and friends and having the same passion. We have chats throughout the year where we bounce stuff off. And I mean, it's like 9 o'clock at night, we're driving home, yeah, or it's like in the morning before you get to get up and get going to, to the course. And it's what's going on with you and what's going on, like we trade stories and see what's going on. And it's really an interesting point. But one of the things that I love about you is because of your bluntness, there's some very answers you get from you. So I'm teeing up the loaded one right now for you. So being
you told me
female,
to be on my best behavior.
pardon?
You warned me to be on my best behavior.
True. But being a female golf professional, all right, in coaching,
Okay.
all right, is it an uphill battle? Is it a stagnant battle, or are you just where you are?
It's whatever you make it. I feel like right now, I mean, women are like dominating in the golf industry. To be honest, I mean, look, Susie Whaley is the president of the PGA. I mean, look how far the LPGA TNCP has improved, in the last few years. And from my experience, from the first day I ever interviewed for a assistant golf professional job or directing tournaments with US Kids Golf, I think if anything, being a woman has been an advantage to that. We are the minority, and I think that works in our favor. So I don't see a problem with that at all. If that answers your question.
Well, it does. It does. But I mean, it's funny because you and I have had some chats about, the technical sides of the golf swing. And it's, it's an interesting point because your niche is, 6 to 12 is really your sweet spot. And you do, and the interesting part is like you dive into a little bit of technical stuff, but you're so much better at the development side.
Yes.
And why is that development side so super important for the future of golf?
Well, I think obviously the technical part of golf is very important, but it's a very small part of the equation, I think, of the formula. And when I started our kids' golf school in 2011, I think that first month in April we had 6 kids. Okay. And if I remember correctly, I really believe there were kids of people who worked at the golf course, so they probably just felt sorry for me back then. And we've grown to 3 locations. We see over 500 kids a year, and we see everything from a kid who's just in taking golf as a once a week extracurricular activity to kids who were trying to, have bigger dreams and goals and whatnot, playing world championships and all that kind of stuff. But I guess, I hope I'm not getting off track here. My formula has always been, and always will be the formula I'm about to give you. And that is, when you're coaching juniors, if you want to have a successful business and a successful program, my formula has been, you need to have a good coach and player relationship. So we've got the relationship first. The second part is create the experience, which is part of my mission statement. You've got to give them an experience. They want to come back and play golf every single day, right? And they've got to be run back in the door to you. And I think that's the best thing we've done. And because we've done that, they're practicing it a lot, and they're getting better, and we've created some good golfers. The third thing is you need to be able to give them good fundamentals, okay? They need good coaching. And the fourth thing is they need a structure. They need a progression path, and parents need a structure. And I think if you're taking care of those four things and you have a great passion for teaching junior golfers, then there's no reason you shouldn't have a successful program.
I hope all you coaches out there that are watching this wrote all that stuff down, because those are 4 gold nuggets from one of the best in the biz. And I mean, you know, she's a success because she is. If the kids love it, the parents will support them. Yes, Colin, they will. One of the things somebody asked me, says, why do you focus mainly on juniors? And I said to them, you know what? I love teaching kids because kids are amazing. Hey, Zoe, what time is it in Ireland? Great. Nice to see you.
20.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. The really cool part about this is I said to them, look, I believe from a business model, coaching kids is a year-round job. You get, if you concentrate on adults, right, they'll come in, take a set of 3 and leave. No real relationship, not a lot of progression, right?
Yeah.
When you get kids, parents will invest in their children when they see them enjoying themselves and wanting to do it. You see it in yes, the whole family can enjoy it, and that is absolutely the best, Jason, absolutely 100%. One of the things I love about it is when you post a photo with some of your kids, the smiles are just unbelievable, and you're always hanging out with them, and it's like, the cool thing about it is that it's so genuine, and the thing is it just shows that this development side sticks to those 4 parameters, right? And it's like, if you have those four parameters, how can you go wrong, right?
Okay.
You gotta be pretty stupid not be able to be successful if you are passionate, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's really cool. So there's a little comment from my little 4-year-old Phenom's dad. I love these guys. Watch them give tools needed to fan the flame of passion. Yes, I do get to coach your daughter, and she is absolutely phenomenal at 4 years old. She's a lot of fun. So it's pretty cool.
Isn't it amazing? Like the likes of Penny, even my niece. I mean, I know Penny's on a whole different level, but isn't it so cool that they can play golf and play in golf tournaments at 4 and 5 years old? And you get this question. Sorry, I'm going off the page here.
No, go ahead.
Question I get a lot, Doug, is, you know, my niece started her US Kids Golf tournaments last year, and she was still 4 years old. She was 4 years old for the first 3 events. She played the whole season. She learned so much. And I know people were looking at me like we're crazy, right? And people say, is that not too young? Kids shouldn't be competing that young. But what I always tell people is there is absolutely no negative to kids competing young if the team of adults around them are doing their job correctly.
It's that, you know what? And you're so right. It's you need to have a proper understanding about what this is for. Hey, they're 4, they're 5, all right? And it's so funny. It's parents will ask you this question. So what do I have to do about their grip? Like, what do I have to do? And I say, okay, first of all, you tell them it's a hot dog and you put it in the bun. If you get it, it's okay. They're 4, right? Like, I mean, like when like it's as much an education for the parents to understand how to talk to their kids, right? I mean, right? I mean, you know, you gotta chip a ball over a marshmallow, which is a folded up towel or whatever it is, right? It's like teaching Penny, it's how creative can I be so that she has to miss the lava, or she's got to get all of the knights into the castle, which are the balls, and they got to go into a castle which is tees around a hole, right? Like, it's whatever creativity, you're only limited to your creativity for these kids to have a lot of fun, right?
And parents, I mean, they have to realize, yes, your child might be good. Like her dad, obviously he knows she's good, but he's got to remember 4 years old, you know? And that's, anyways, we could talk all day about that.
Exactly. Okay, so here's the thing. You're from Ireland. and I have a couple of. I have this is a little surprise question for you.
Oh,
A little injection of some fun. All right, I'm gonna say a word, and you need to repeat it to me. Okay?
okay.
All right, ready? Because
Yeah.
there's certain words that the Irish accent butchers, and it really sounds quite hilarious. So, all right, so ready? Hot.
Hot.
Oh, there you go. Cute.
Cute.
Tornado.
Tornado.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, say it again. Whatever.
I'm always saying that to you, am I? Whatever.
Yes. Foreigners.
Foreigners.
Foreigners. What?
Foreigners.
Oh. Awesome.
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 There's a long aw there, eh? Exactly. Quinoa.
Just
Quinoa.
what?
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Okay, that's all right. Gelato.
Gelato.
Oh, that's all right. What do you call potato chips?
Potato.
No. What do you guys call potato chips?
Potato chips. And you mean like potato or the
No. Oh, sorry. What are potato chips in Ireland?
and the potato crisps?
No, they're crisps.
Crisps.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
telling you. Say coffee.
Potato.
Say coffee.
Coffee.
What?
Coffee.
Coffee.
I've
Unreal.
never actually tasted coffee. You know that?
Really?
Yeah. Now I'm really showing my Irish side.
No, no, that's crazy. All right. So we have AJGA, we have US Kids, we have the First Tee, we have Littlest Golfers, we have, FCWT, we have Hurricane Tours, we have all these tours and all these different ways for kids to compete. All right. What is it about US Kids that just sets them so aside from everybody else?
Well, I guess in my opinion, US Kids just covers all grounds. I mean, they cover the clubs, they cover the tournaments, they cover. I guess they were the first to specialize in kids coaching, right? I think I'm correct in saying that. And I feel like US Kids are always the first to do it. I guess they're leading the world, right? And is that answering your question about?
Yeah. No, but do you not think they're kind of like a big three-headed monster, right? Because they have the tours, they have the products, and the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you and I have had the opportunity to hang out at the World Championships.
Mm-hmm.
How daunting, and because people don't understand, they look at the short game and they may watch this and they may think, okay, you know what? That looks like a lot of fun. It's a hard route to get to the World Championships first and foremost. But what is it about being a tour director at you're running ages 11 at the Worlds? What is it that is like, A, how hard is that? And B, what's the biggest thing that you have to juggle when you're in charge of a world championship?
Yeah, it's an absolutely exhausting week, but it's the most rewarding week ever. I've often done the teen worlds and then the kid worlds, and I'm absolutely mentally drained after the 2 weeks. I guess the most exciting part of it is seeing how excited these kids are and seeing how excited these families are, and that experience that Pinehurst and US Kids brings them. And of course, you're getting to watch the best kids in the world, getting to be around the best. Right. That's a huge honor for us too. What was your question again?
I just want to talk about how hard and daunting is it when you're running a world championship, because it's everybody on edge.
Yeah, it's a draining week. I have a lot of kids. For me, it's a very draining week because I'm there. I have tons of my kids playing. All the ups. There's all the happy sides of US Kids and the experience of going to Pinehurst and the week for your family. But the bad sides of it that we see too, and that is mentally draining. It's hard to watch. It's hard to deal with it, and so it's such an emotional roller coaster of a week. I find
you know what? Yeah, I agree. But you've had the opportunity to also go abroad and help run these international events in Italy,
Yeah,
right?
that was cool.
And I mean, one of the one of the things that I think, and I want to ask you, is golf is such an international game.
Hmm.
What do you think is what are your like what do you think must haves for golf to continue moving forward in this time, facing a little bit of a crazy time right now, but what is the going to be the key for golf to keep moving forward and still, you know, growing the game through, you know, kids?
I don't think we're going to have any problem with that at all. I think, I mean, here when you look at America, I mean, a lot of states golf is still open. I'm not sure if that's the right thing or the wrong thing. That's not a decision for me to make. I just hope whatever kids and families and adults are out there playing, that they're abiding by all the rules. Um, but I think actually this is just going to, I don't think golf is going to decline, junior golf is going to decline. I think it's just going to get stronger. As I said at the beginning, I feel like as coaches, we're being forced to teach in ways we never have before. Our students are
Right.
forced to learn in ways they've never learned before. We're forced to connect in ways we've never connected before with each other, with other coaches, with our players. And I think once this craziness is over, I think golf is going to be stronger than ever.
That's amazing. You know, one of my things that I find and that you mentioned earlier is that parent-child relationship is
Mm-hmm.
so important.
Yeah.
And what would be your top three things that a parent needs to ensure their child is going to love this game of golf? Maybe there's more, but what would be your top three?
Um, First, I will always say, listen to your child. People often ask me about burnout, okay, and we see burnout so often, right? Um, you've got to listen to your child. If your child, like I have a kid, her name's Macy, right? She is absolutely
Mm-hmm.
obsessed with golf. She's got a great golf swing. She competes at a pretty high level, and her mom will tell you, her mom has tried to sign her up for everything and anything. But this child wants to play golf 7 days a week, every
Wow.
week of the year. I mean, she just loves it. She eats and sleeps it. And is that child going to burn out? No, I don't think she will. I think if a kid is asking to do it every single day, they're not going to burn out. Okay, as long as the parents are doing the right things. So I think the
All right.
first thing I always say to people is
Listen.
listen.
Okay.
That's the
Love it.
most important
Listen
thing.
to your child.
Always keep, I always say, arrive at the golf course a happy family and leave the golf course a happy family. And I think that is
Wow.
so, um,
I like that one a lot. Come to the golf course happy, leave the golf course happy.
yeah,
Wow, that, you know what? I mean, how many, oh boy, I mean, for all of us who have read books and all that stuff, right? The car ride home is the worst thing ever for a child, right? Because they're
yeah,
locked in a cage, can't get away. I
yeah.
love that idea.
I'm just laughing here because my niece's dad just wrote patience, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on him over the years. He better.
Hey, nice.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, hey, look, hold on. Wait a minute. You sure it's not his wife that needs assistance? Should I say that?
Yeah. And the other thing I always try and say to parents is you're the person that your child needs most in life, okay? You're their greatest teammate in life, okay? Until they grow up and they meet their life partner, right?
Right.
You're the greatest teammate. And especially in a sport like golf, where you're playing, let's say you're out there for 2.5 hours playing 9 holes, and you're swinging for what, three minutes? Let's say we're out there for 2 hours. You're swinging
Yes.
for all 3 minutes, right? So for the other hour and 57 minutes, it's all back to the mental game. And at 6 and 7 years old, your mental game is whatever mental game your mom and dad are harping on you about, right? So I always tell parents, you're their greatest teammate, and they're learning from you. Okay, if you're freaking out when they hit a bad shot, they're going to turn into a grumpy teenager who's crying and whining about a bad shot every time they do it. So they're learning from you, staff parents, to remember that, and you are their greatest teammate. And when the going gets tough, they need to be able to turn to you and look and see a calm and composed person. They don't need to turn and look and see, you know, somebody freaking out all the time.
Man, those three things are absolute gold. I love it. You know what? You got to listen to your kid. You have to, you know, come to the course happy, leave the course happy,
Yeah.
no matter what, as a family. And you know what? You got to be the best teammate possible. And I mean, really, you and I have seen so much of that not happen.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You know what? Oh, there's Colin. He just typed it all out for you so people can copy that. There you go. Copy and paste that into your browser right there.
He's such a good guy.
Gold nuggets from, he's just trying to kiss butt because you know, he knows who really your favorite Canadian is.
Hey, I got to ask a question. So I think you're like my 6th or 7th favorite Canadian.
Oh,
but
no.
The one thing I want to ask is, going back to Colin and you and Kerry, what is it with you Canadians? You all look so young.
Well, you know, it's the water. It's the good North water, right? I mean, you know, hey, you know, we've got structure, Kerry and Colin being in Vancouver, that's salt air, right? They don't age very well. Me, genetics. I can't talk for anybody else really, but I mean, hey, you know.
Well, I got such a shock when Colin said he was, I think, 42 years old.
He's 42. There you go. Exactly, right?
Because as you know, he looks at me.
I won't tell you how old Carrie is.
Well, I know how old she is, and she looks 25.
I know she does. Exactly, right? Exactly. I mean, hey, I think you and your sister nearly fell over when you found out how old I was. It was kind of funny. You got, like, in my 30s, I was like, yes. Right?
There's another Canadian.
Oh yeah, good haircut on that guy, Brody, right? But this is the really cool part. Okay, so because you and I have been such good friends, I have really enjoyed the fact that I have been able to introduce you to these friends of mine, and they now consider you a friend and a colleague, and it's really quite hilarious because, like, you and Dan and your sister and Zoe, I mean, it's like when we at the PGA show, it's just, okay, what's going on, and let's all go out and have a great time together. And it's just such an awesome environment. What do you think, okay, coaches need to do more of to have relationships like this? Because there's a lot of this, right? Oh, I know more than you, and I'm better than you, and all that stuff. But you and I have never had that, right? No. And it's like, what is it with these coaches that always feel that their word is better than others? What do you think? Like, why does that happen?
Well, I think for me, I realized that I am not the best coach in the world, that I always need to learn. And that's why I love being friends with all these coaches. Of course, there's a social side of it too, but I'm constantly learning from coaches.
The social side, small bit.
Just a tiny bit. On a social media side, I think I'm kind of keeping to the answer here, but on a social media side, I think, you know, we have such a great opportunity there to learn from other coaches. We have such a great opportunity to form friendships with other coaches and just support other coaches. I mean, I'm constantly on Instagram, Twitter, you know, trying to, you know, find other coaches to follow so I can learn from them and just support them. Cool. And I would like to think that most people are like that. I mean, maybe I'm a little naive, but I would like to think most people are like that.
Right, exactly. So, all right, here's my little fast five for you. So you have to answer these questions as truthfully as you possibly can.
Okay.
All right, cool. Okay, so they're making a movie about Michelle Holmes. Who is starring in the lead role? Who's the movie starring in the lead role?
Me and Dan were actually laughing about this the other night because you asked somebody else that question, and I was like, who would I say if he asked me that? But I'm going to tell you a little story. Have you ever seen the movie Love Actually?
Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to send you the clip of it later. So there's an actress in there. She's got a small part, and she is my twin. When that movie came out and I saw her, she is my identical twin. I don't know what her name is. She's a smaller actress, but it would be her. Whoever the waitress is in Love Actually.
Okay. All right.
That's
So
her.
Love actually would play Michelle Holmes in the Michelle Holmes story. Oh, that's too funny. I mentioned it before, but I always like asking this question. Who's your hero?
My dad.
Yeah. He is a
Yeah.
wonderful man. I have met him more than once.
Yes.
He has got great character.
Yes.
Um, finish this sentence. Okay.
Okay.
Your sister is.
My sister is my best friend in the world.
Yeah. She is a wonderful woman, a great coach in her own right, great golfer, great mom.
Great
Uh,
mom.
and really really cool because she lets you almost play second mother to her kids, and it's really cool to see that all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Catherine Zeta Jones. There you go. Colin Bykowski says Catherine Zeta Jones should play you. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
He's really trying to make up for the insult he gave me at the
Oh my
TV.
gosh, he's kissing butts so badly. It's unbelievable. All right. Finish this sentence. All right.
Okay.
Zoe Allen is.
Um, amazing. Zoe Allen is can be a true inspiration to so many. Her story is quite cool. I mean, have you ever heard mine and Zoe's story?
Well, no, that okay. So you're.
Can I elaborate?
Hold. Pause. I got one more question.
Okay.
One
Sorry.
more question by past five. All right. What is the one thing that you miss that you can't get in the States from Ireland?
My mom's cooking.
Okay. That's kind of understandable. But I mean, like, what is it something that you can get in Ireland you can't get at home other than your mom's cooking?
And my mind just keeps going back to food here. I do miss the Irish culture. I miss that laid back, Irish culture.
For sure.
That.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to get into this question. So
Okay.
the reason I asked you about Zoe is because I've had the opportunity to get to know her very well. She is her stock is doing this, and you know what, it's partly because she is friends with you, and I would love to hear the story on how she and you developed a friendship and how it's helped her skyrocket her career because she's an burgeoning emerging rock star. Zoe Allen, follow it on Instagram. You won't miss out. So go ahead.
Well, the first thing I have to say, and it's all down to her.
The story.
The first thing I have to say is it's all down to her. The quote I'm thinking of right now is, "You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink," right? And so yes, I did introduce her and give her some opportunities, but what she has done, she's taken it to a million different levels. And I think she's surpassed anything I've ever done. But anyways, so the story is a funny story. We somehow became Facebook friends, and she was working in golf operations back in Ireland in her local club, and she was teaching part-time.
Lurgan.
In Lurgan Golf Club.
Lurgan Golf.
I saw a little bit of what she was doing online, and I just thought, this girl seems to be quite passionate with the little bit she's doing. So I wrote to her, and I said, "Hey, any chance you want to come to America and come spend the summer here with us?" And I really think Zoe had that ticket booked by the time that conversation ended. She was on her way over.
Oh.
But what was funny is we had invited her to stay in the house, and I remember driving to the airport, and I've never met this person in person. She's going to stay with me for the summer. And I remember driving to the airport, and I called Dan, and I was like, "What if I don't like this girl?" And he was like, "It's a bit late now." But we became friends instantly, and that summer, my the kids still talk about her, and my advice to her was to go back home and teach juniors full time. I said, get rid of golf operations and go home, and you can do this. And I think that was a scary thing for her at the time because, here in America in the last few years, we are seeing people teach junior golf full time. People are making a full-time job of it. That's not the case back home. Parents aren't signing their kids up for every sport under the sun and all these different activities like we do here in America, right? So I'm sure it was a very scary thing for her to go back and say, how am I going to do this full time? But she did. And I mean, the person Zoe is, her passion, her personality, her work ethic. I mean, yes, we introduced her to US Kids Golf, but she ran with that, and she's never
totally.
looked back. I always joke now that I'm here and she's like way up there. So.
Well, hold on. There's a reason for that. I think Dan Van Horn has a crush on Zoe. You know, that's why she's as high as she is. So, I mean, there you go. But yes, they need a tournament run in the United Kingdom. It's like, oh, Zoe's free. Let's get her to do it. Oh, there you go.
But you know, even what she's done as far as bringing U.S. kids to Ireland, I mean.
Well, that's just it. She started. She's now on this. She's part of Golf Ireland's. She's doing this coaching pathway with female golf coaches. I mean, she's being looked upon as a leader in coaching in the homeland of Ireland, which is amazing because it, like you said, it was not looked upon as a year-round business, not until most recently, right?
Yes, not even close.
Exactly. And I mean, the really cool part is you can see and watch this rise. And I mean, the really interesting thing is, and this is a little like, look, people, if they don't think they can do it, if you have passion and you have the drive and kids like you and they see how affable and how attractive it is to have a lot of fun. You, me, Zoe, Colin, when the kids show up, they can't wait to get to go see and hang out with their coach because we make it so engaging for them. And the really cool part is you're taking it in a land that is known for golf, known for some absolutely unbelievable golf. But it's really interesting how it hasn't had the development side of it in the junior, only competitive junior, not in the land of development of junior golf as we see it.
Yeah, she's definitely changed that back there, and I hope other coaches are learning from her back there. I mean, I still feel like Ireland up until a couple of years ago, kids really weren't starting golf until 10 years old, and the only kids that were really sticking with the game were the high performance kids. There was no such thing as golf for life or golf for other tools.
Right.
And she's changed that. I mean, she's got a huge Pee Wee program. She's got a huge LPGA girls golf program, and she's brought so much back.
And but this is the really cool part is that as coaches, we see opportunity to help others and being able to do that once you get like that spark in them, right? I have one of my close young guys that I work with, Chris Dickinson. I taught him in college, and I knew from the minute I met this young guy, he had a difference to him, right? Like there's just a difference. I mean, right? He's 25 now, and he's working as one of the lead instructors at this big academy, and it's going to be an amazing journey to watch him grow over the next few years. And the really cool part about this is that if you do it, it's kind of like we're coaching, but we're coaching the ones who are going to come after us, right?
Yes, I get what you're saying. Yes.
Right. Well, sorry, me sooner than you, but
you've got to be on your way. You got to be soon near retirement, right?
Oh wow!
Joking.
Shots fired. There we go. Right over my head, eh?
I can't only give you compliments.
Gosh. Hey, look. 52 does look pretty good right now. I'm not going to lie.
You're doing all right for 52.
Thank you very much. So listen, so what's the plan? You've been pushing back your programming. Obviously you had to.
Yeah. We're just trying to find a new way to keep these kids learning.
Oh, you know who the favorite sister is. Never mind. That's not even sorry. Anyways, like what do you have to do with your programming?
So we're just trying to find a new way to teach these kids, and we are, interestingly enough, we've gone to video lessons, okay? Yep. But what I find, I don't know how everyone else does video lessons because I never did online lessons before video lessons, so this is all new to me. But what I have found is that the kids are working harder in between their lessons and parents are working harder because now they know that we send the review, they've got to send their videos back, their practices. So now the parents are like, okay, what did Michelle say again? Yeah, we got to make sure we get that down for the. So I feel like there's some positives to it.
100%. I'm the really cool part about this for me on my side is I can be really finite. like, I don't have to be like, oh, let's try this or let's try that or something, like coming up and being creative on how they can work on things, right? Like I had some of my kids hitting in their sock feet the other day, right? Just to feel what their feet were doing. It's being more creative, but you're right, they're working at it, and
Yeah.
they're, and it's really kind of neat to watch these guys keep driving at it, because it's because they don't know when, right? We don't know when. See, right now we can't get on golf courses, right? We're all shut down. And
Shut down across
oh
Canada.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Same
yeah.
in ours.
We can't. They've closed parks. You're not allowed to go to a park, like a playground or anything like that. They've actually, three guys got caught on a municipal golf course in the city next to me, and were arrested.
Oh wow.
They're arrested and charged with trespassing and fined $750.
And so should they. Yeah. So
Right.
they should. Yeah.
Well, it's one of these things, right? It's like, what's the new norm? And I think what it's going to do is going to really challenge us. I think I had a pretty cool idea today. I was talking to my friend Ryan Starr at Gear to Golf, and we were talking about, like, when this starts up again, if you're going to do a group lesson, how do you monitor social distancing? And I thought I had a really cool idea. This is kind of neat. You give every single kid a hula hoop, and they can't leave the hula hoop. They hit their shots in their hula hoop. They get their balls in their hula hoop. They get their clubs in their hula hoop. They put their clubs down. Their hula hoop is their bubble, and it keeps them apart from everybody else. And I thought, you know what? If we can keep these kids a little bit more safer by keeping them in their bubbles and stuff like that, it's like they're in a bumper car. So what's this dog's name?
This one is Allie.
Allie. How old's Allie?
Allie is 2, and I've got an interesting story about Allie if you want to hear that.
Why not?
2 Christmas, I think it must be 3 Christmases ago now, a family that we have taught for years and years, they, right before Christmas, the dad kept texting and saying, hey, the kids want to see you. And, I was busy that week. I was bringing Katie to see Santa or whatever. And one day I said, okay, yeah, come on over to the golf course and I'll meet them there. And the little girl walks in, and she has a red Santa hat, and she hands me the hat and she says, Merry Christmas, Coach Michelle, and Allie was in the hat.
No, like this.
Yeah, tiny.
Oh,
and
wow.
So
That's
it was
cool.
Because then I turned to Dan thinking, oh, this is Dan's cute way of giving me a dog, right? And I turned to Dan and his face was white. And I soon realized he has no clue about this dog. So yeah, they gave me a dog. Yeah.
That's insane. I've never gotten a dog. Bottles of wine, alcohol, liquor, like money, but no, golf clubs. Never gotten a dog.
So I always joke with them, I can't wait to see what you get me next Christmas. So they definitely haven't talked that present just yet.
Is she a Bichon?
She's a Bichon, and Brady is a Bichon as well, and he is 12, 13 years old, so he's getting a little older. And it's funny because Brady has Dan's personality, kind of quiet, tame, and this lady is absolutely crazy. So
well, we know who takes after that. Exactly. Yeah. No. Just this one comment from BC Golf Ross. Yes. It's more of an idea. Look. Hey, we all want to be safe. We all want to make sure. I mean, we all have our reasons to not, go out and do anything right now. And I'm merely, brainstorming to think about how can we possibly make it more accommodating for parents so that they feel a little bit more safe, right? And because we have to come up with some idea on how we're going to be able to do this. My friend even said, hey, he doesn't even know if ranges are going to be open, right? Because you don't want to have people congregating on a driving range, right?
Of course.
That's actually a scary thought because, if we can't teach golf, right, it's going to be really wild. I mean, Colin, you work in a facility that has 4 teaching bays. Can you and your guys schedule it to make, your schedule be okay that you could actually coach or even risk it? I mean, you don't want to risk anything. You've got a brand new baby at home. And you know what? How can you even risk possibly, having anything happen to young Nick? So, I mean, we have to be so careful. And I think we always have to remember that these kids that we're coaching, they still are engaged with us, and keeping that connection, right, that you're doing is so invaluable to them staying on the pathway and staying connected with us as coaches.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely scary. I mean, we have no end in sight. We might not play golf this year.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It's like it's just not even it's you have to think about it. You have to train your brain that you're not going to play any tournaments. And that's often very hard to do, right? So, I mean,
I try not to think about it, but it's heartbreaking to think that World Championships might not be a thing.
oh, you know what? I've already thought about it. It's not going to go.
Or look at poor Zoe. I mean, she's running her first Irish Open this year in July, and I mean, I'm sure that's not looking too promising right now at all.
One of my close friends here and who owns a restaurant here in my town. Talking to him yesterday, and he was actually canceling his trip to Ireland in August.
Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. Myself and my dad and my mom have started having the conversations where they come out here for every summer. They spend 2 months with myself and Laura every summer.
Yeah.
And they've done that for maybe the last, I mean, as long as I've been here, I guess 20 years. And this might be the first summer that they're not going to get out. So it's absolutely heartbreaking.
That's crazy, right? I mean, because that's something you guys look forward to, right?
Exactly.
And, you know, it's so imperative. So, well, listen, buddy, an hour goes by in a heartbeat with you. I know, right? I know.
Fun.
Listen, I can't thank you enough. You are an inspiration to so many. I can't thank you enough for your friendship and your you know, just being such a great colleague and friend. To everybody that's tuned in tonight, again, thank you so very much. Yeah, Colin, we just talked. We don't know about Worlds yet, but we'll find out. But listen, stay well. Give that man of yours a hug for me, and keep being awesome. All right, buddy. And I can't.
Thank you.
All right. Well, have a good night, sweetie. Bye. Bye.